absolutely love these things. The random towers that kind of you activate by going to your operator and shooting them, they spit out fairly rare resources. Okay, you need to go away, you need to die, and you need to go away as well. Literally, it's just spitting out rare resources. I would love... I mean, at first, you would think, oh, well, it's... Don't you even think about it. I can do that too. Oh, you disappeared. But look at it all. It hasn't even finished yet. Everybody keeps activating these things. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. But the important thing here is, if we jump back down, is that right there. That was a lot of resources. There was spines in there, muscle masses go from there. A lot of the rarer, harder to find resources spawn from this thing, and I'm going to run away and leave you to it. Oh no, it's expired and you can't reactivate it while that's up there. Even though it's dismantled, it's like a timer until you can use it again. Down it goes, and these things are literally everywhere. There is literally one by the entrance doorway here. Same thing. Drops a ton of different resources that are kind of important and you need a lot of. I'm going to very quickly run inside and hope that I don't lose absolutely everything I was just doing, because we all know that can happen every now and then. But yeah, didn't really kill any enemies in that. That's a whole different story, but you can see it's dropping all sorts of rare stuff that well, that's mining stuff. It's basically the resources dropped by enemies. More importantly, that was from the one at the entranceway. As soon as you leave, it's just up to your left. Activate it, run away, come back to it later. Fire it. It will then come to life, and a lot of the times that will happen. Enemies will spawn. At Fass, what will happen is enemies will be turned into allies. Any other enemies killed by these allies, this one has been an epic fail if I'm being honest, they will drop goodies. And you also want to check these every time for these things, but it helps when more enemies spawn. Jahu repels enemies, and any enemy repelled, if you kill it, you get goodies from. Maybe, if it actually worked. I guess you got the infested tumor, so it is doing stuff, but any enemy repelled, if it actually works, that is. Actually does, this is one of the better ways to get the rarer resources. Just remember to let the tower actually repel them first, and if it expires, give it a couple seconds, when you see it coming down. Khra sends out shockwaves that slow enemies. Killing affected enemies generate loot. It would seem that this one is a bit immune to enemies spawning though, which, well, if that doesn't happen, the towers don't work. Then there is Lohk. This is one that will kill them itself. Any enemy killed by the pulse that it is pulsating out here will generate loot. But as always, not many enemies. Also, the enemies there are, it's not really doing much damage to. There we go. That should, that's better. Now you get to working. I'm out of here. Netra is supposed to spawn drones next to it, but for some reason, this one didn't spawn the drones. There they are. Any enemies killed by the drones will drop resources. Now I'm just going to back off and leave them to it, because there are certain ones where, well, the tower needs to kill them. You can see it's just spawned more drones. I should have brought Loki in here for this. Riz here will stun enemies, and stunned enemies will generate loot once taken down. All the good loots. And it's actually spawning it all off to the side for some reason. But, like with the rest of them, you have to wait until the tower actually kicks in and stuns the enemies so you can do this. Vome will pull enemies towards it. Any enemy pulled, if you kill them with, well, it says your operator, but pretty much anything. any enemy who is pulled towards it with the pulse will be able to drop goodies, or will drop those goodies. And lastly, the most interesting of them all, Xata. This one, it turns into any of the other ones at random. Kind of need to hurry up and jump to operator, and it will swap from that to it's turned to Vome. As for where these spawn, well, usually in little areas like these totems will appear, and they are absolutely everywhere. There is one just down here, same thing on the circle, and it seems to be different ones kind of every time. I do believe the other one is right there, usually with an arch right next to it. There is one just to the right when you leave the room, or leave the town. Same thing, with a little tower over it. That one's broken, but there is one right there. They are literally everywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open for these, and usually you can see where they spawn. My favourite place to set these things off though, just kind of bring it up on the map for you. They are located pretty much everywhere on here. I was looking for something on the map over the past little bit that would kind of give away where they are, but since the stairs you come down is there and there's nothing really you can tell, but it's just this little alleyway that goes around here where I'm currently being attacked from by all kinds of weird angles, because this actually has 3 of them in it, usually. And you just have to kind of run through, set them all off, and most of the time you just run back and it's done. And of course, because I said there's 3, it's only spawned 2. No it hasn't, there it is. Number 3. We'll do it your way. Oh no, that is allies will drop loot. And there's the loot I was looking for before. I swear some of these towers are just straight up weird, and sometimes they just don't work. And other times, they just gather loot while you're off doing something else. And since that was, it says 49 minutes, but to be honest, it was probably more like 10 minutes of running around activating these towers. That is not a bad haul for the spinal cores and other such things. As I say, I needed 2 of those, and I went fishing for quite a while actually, looking for rare fish, and now I have 8 of them. I got what I wanted when I went fishing, but this would have been the quicker, easier way to probably have done this. But I think that's about it, so we'll leave this off here for now as I activate this once again, because it kind of reset while I've been standing there, and then run away and leave it to do what it does. That is pretty weird, because if I started this video with the part that I wanted to start it with, you will see this thing basically layered in rare resources. But, oh, torment. Yeah, for some reason it's just not working as good now as it was when I started on this, which is, yeah, you can go away and you can go away because I want that one resource, and then I'm just going to run away because, yeah. So I think we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.